G'day fellas, what is good? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing my journey on how I made $21,891 in 30 days from my personal brand. This isn't just about the cash, it's about the transformation, the skills, and the resilience I picked up along the way. The goal by the end of this video is for you to be inspired and equipped to be aiming for at least your first $10,000 month online with your content and the skills I'm about to teach you. So grab yourself a pen and paper and let's get stuck into it. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, my ordinary start from tradie to entrepreneur. So roughly a year and a half ago, I was your typical Aussie tradie putting in the hard yards in the construction industry. Early mornings, long hours, and plenty of elbow grease. Now don't get me wrong, I love the camaraderie of working alongside my mates on site. Besides that, there's also nothing like the satisfaction of finishing a good job. But if I'm being completely honest, there was always a part of me that felt a little bit out of place. I was constantly grappling with a nagging feeling, asking myself, is this really it? Am I just going to be doing this for the rest of my life? I watched on as life seemed to pass by as I was busy grinding it out. I seen other people online living the life that I wanted, traveling, working from beaches and cafes, and pretty much just calling their own shots. The desire for that kind of freedom burned in me, and I knew it was time to do something about it. So that was my turning point. Finding inspiration. One fateful evening after a particularly long day, I found myself scrolling on social media. I was mindlessly flicking through posts when I stumbled upon people just like me. Regular blokes who had made the leap from a traditional everyday job to running a successful online business. They weren't celebrities, they were just everyday blokes sharing their journeys to success. It sparked something in me, and I thought to myself, if they can do it, then why can't I? Instead of letting the envy fester, I chose to channel that jealousy into motivation. I started researching how these people were able to build their brands, attract customers, and create lifestyles that allowed them to live freely. Now, inspirations can come from various places. Family, friends, or even total strangers. For me, it was seeing the posts on social media from blokes that were just like me, and it really resonated with me. And it made me realize that I didn't have to settle for the life that I didn't want. I could write my own story. I could create a life that left me feeling accomplished and fulfilled. And that brought me to the next part of my journey, the perfect formula. Through my research, I quickly discovered a critical formula that would be the backbone to my journey: information and action. Number one, information. It made me realize that to succeed, I had to educate myself on personal branding, online marketing, and sales. I dove deeply into podcasts, books, webinars, and platforms like YouTube became my learning hub. I watched videos, attended free online workshops, and just absorbed all the information that I could. I sought advice from successful mentors, soaking in their experiences and insights. It was about becoming a walking encyclopedia in my chosen area without having to go back to school. That brings me to number two, taking action. Knowledge without action is useless, right? So I realized I actually had to apply what I was learning. I began taking small actionable steps while I was still working as a tradie, such as reaching out to potential clients, creating my first pieces of content, and pretty much just testing the waters. For instance, I started pretty small. I posted about my day-to-day life on Instagram, sharing snippets of my work and personal daily thoughts. This phase was all about experimentation. I posted content to see what would resonate with my audience, tried multiple approaches in my messaging, and learned from every reaction, both positive and negative. And that brought me to the next stage of my journey, the concept of skill stacking. I like to call it building my toolkit. A significant turning point came for myself when I discovered the concept of skill stacking. Instead of focusing and mastering the art of one skill, I had to focus on a few. I learned that combining multiple skills could create a robust foundation for my business. Think of it like building a powerhouse toolkit. Every tool serves its purpose, and together they can create something substantial. So skill number one, and what I focused on first, was appointment setting. This was all about booking calls for another business for a small commission. Now, I knew appointment setting was never going to make me thousands and thousands of dollars. But that wasn't the point. Setting wasn't about the money itself. Setting was about acquiring that first skill or building block towards my future business. I needed to learn how to manage leads and steer conversations in the right direction so I could book quality calls to the sales team. The whole reason behind this was because I knew I wanted to have a business eventually. So I figured if I can set successfully for someone else, I can set for my own business and manage a team of setters in the future. That was the whole logic behind it. Skill number two that I focused on was remote closing. Next was closing deals, the art of turning interest into sales. I spent time learning how to effectively communicate the value of what I was offering. It was about understanding my prospects' needs and aligning my solutions with their problems. I focused solely on trying to help the person as best I could rather than the sale, and then the sale was just a byproduct. Now, closing does have the potential to make you a hell of a lot of money and will give you the freedom to earn money from wherever you want in the world. But to be honest, that wasn't my vision. That wasn't the reason I wanted to learn closing. I had the same vision with closing as I had with setting. It was to learn and master the skill so I could acquire another building block towards my future business. If I know how to close, I can start closing my own deals, and eventually I can run my own team of closers once my business started to scale up. And that brings me to skill number 3, content creation. After nailing down setting and closing, I knew that the next step had to be content creation. I needed to tell my story and showcase my skills in a way that would resonate with my target audience. Learning to create engaging posts, videos, stories would be crucial to building my personal brand. So once I'd been doing content for a while, and you could say I had it down pat. I mean, you never really have it down pat, but that brings me to skill number 4, marketing and selling high ticket coaching. I used the skills that I had acquired over the last 18 months to partner up with businesses to promote and sell their high ticket coaching, mentorships, and consulting programs. And the best part is, I didn't even have to create any of these offers. I just had to promote it. Just promote them and sell them on behalf of the businesses. The combination of sales and marketing made it an unstoppable force for my online business. And it was the main reason I was able to earn $21,891 of pure profit in just 30 days. Now that's not cash collected, that is pure profit into my pocket. And that is why I preach and will continue to preach that stacking multiple high income skills will be hugely beneficial because you can transfer it to any business or business model. Now I'm going to quickly touch on a common misconception and the truth about followers. Now let's address this major misconception that I encountered, which is the belief that you need to have a massive following to make serious cash. It's simply not true. Many believe that the equation looks like this: more followers equals more money, which that couldn't be further from the truth. And I'm here to tell you that it in fact is complete rubbish. When I first started posting content, I had roughly 2,000 followers on Instagram and 0 followers on TikTok. And to be honest, those 2,000 followers were mainly people that I knew. It wasn't a significant number at all, but that is all you need. I didn't need a colossal follower count to justify my success. What I learned is that it is not about the size of your audience, but it's how you engage with them and offer genuine value to them. I was able to earn myself around $9,000 in my first month of promoting an offer with between 2,000 and 3,000 followers. But don't just take my word for it. Take my mate Conrad here for instance. He also started his journey with fewer than 1,000 followers. Yet he was able to make $11,000 in just 1 week. Not month, 1 week. His story solidifies the fact that you do not need a gigantic online presence, but what you do need is effective content paired with a sound strategy. Conrad was able to market to his target audience, even though it was only a small audience, and utilize his sales skills to earn this type of income. So I've been yapping for a little while, and a lot of this is probably going straight over your head. But what are the first steps? The first steps is laying the foundation. So what were the first steps I took in my journey? Let's get into it. Like I mentioned earlier, it all began with learning the art of sales. Step number 1 was finding a sales role, particularly setting. Initially, I sourced a sales role just to simply get my leg in the door. There are always businesses looking for setters, people that generate their own leads and interests in their own offer. I wasn't shy about contacting potential employers through things like Facebook, Seek.com, and even just on Instagram. And I made sure to express my willingness to learn. The second step is networking. Networking became a vital part of my strategy. I reached out to friends, family, and just anyone that knew I worked in sales. I joined groups and forums online to engage with professionals who had experienced success in their field. Which networking and doing my own research was all well and good, but it would only get me so far. So that brought me to step number 3, investing in my education. Finally, the game changer for me was when I decided to invest money into a sales academy. I put some of my hard-earned cash aside to enroll in a program that would teach me setting, closing, content creation, building a personal brand, and online marketing. At the time, it did feel pretty risky, but I was eager to learn from people who had walked the path that I was trying to walk, which ultimately saved me months, if not years, of messing around trying to learn it all myself. So let's talk about getting started with setting, turning interest into a booked call. With the resources of the Sales Academy, I immersed myself in the art of setting. So what does setting actually entail? The art of turning a business's DMs or prospect that are interested in the product into an actual booked call with the closing team or sales team. So how do we do this? We do this by using a framework. So step number 1 of the framework is information gathering. In this part, we want to find out all about the prospect, hence the name information gathering. Why they are reaching out, what problems they are facing, how long have they had these problems, have they tried anything to try and fix these problems? What have they tried to fix the problems? This way you can really relate to the prospect. And by knowing all their problems, you can understand if what you are offering is going to be the solution to their problems. We also need to qualify the prospects financially and figure out if they are even in a buying position. We want what is best for the prospect, and we don't want to put them in a tough spot financially. Nor do we want to waste the time of the closers on a prospect that isn't even in a position to buy. The second part is building rapport. A critical aspect of the setting process is establishing rapport with leads. I found that connecting with people on a personal level made all the difference. I often shared snippets of my story, my passions, and what was driving me to get out my comfort zone. And honestly, it resonated with a lot of people. And then we get to step number 3 of the framework, which is the pitch. Now let's get one thing straight. Our job as the setter is not to pitch the offer. All we want to be pitching is the call. So we pitch the call, right, and we get them scheduled in. But our job does not finish there. Yes, they are all booked in. Yes, the closer will give them a pre-call. But us as the setter need to follow up with the prospect every so often to make sure that they actually show up for the call. There's never a guarantee that a sale will be made, but I can guarantee one thing. The sale will definitely not be made if they don't show up to the call. Now that I've gone over setting, I want to speak about transitioning into closing. After getting quite comfortable as a setter and doing that for a couple of months, I felt pretty confident to move into closing. So what actually is closing? It's all about turning that booked call into cash or a sale. So here's how I made the transition. Step number 1, natural progression from setting to closing. Many companies provide a natural progression for roles. So I knew if I did well as a setter, there was going to be a job opportunity to become a closer. And this was the case for me. My boss recognized my potential and presented me with an opportunity. So I grabbed it. Step number 2, the closing framework. The framework is very similar to setting, however, now you are not messaging, you are face-to-face with the prospect on a Zoom call. This consists of several key steps to effectively engage and convert prospects into paying clients. First, you want to begin with rapport building by connecting to them on a personal level. Ask open-ended questions to understand their needs and establish trust. Next, identify pain points by listening actively to their challenges and aspirations. Once you recognize their needs, move to presenting your solution clearly and confidently, highlighting how your service addresses their specific pain points. Then you want to handle any objections by validating their concerns and providing reassuring responses. Finally, you want to conclude with a call to action, encouraging them to take the next step based off everything you've just gone over, whether that be signing up for the service or scheduling a follow-up call. Throughout the call, maintaining an empathetic and professional tone is crucial, creating an environment where the prospect feels heard and understood. Now that we've brushed over the framework, we come to step number 3. Practical experience. The best way to learn is going to be through practical experience, actually doing the thing. I started with smaller deals, practicing my pitch, and eventually built up my confidence to handle larger transactions. Okay, so we've learnt setting, we've learnt closing, and now it is time for the third thing you need to learn, which is content creation. The importance of content creation and sharing my journey. After honing in on my closing skills, I realized if I wanted to go to the next step, I had to learn content creation. Creating engaging content serves multiple purposes. Purpose number 1, attracting leads. Quality content acts as a magnet, attracting leads to your personal brand. Well-crafted content shows potential customers the kind of value that you can provide. Purpose number 2, building trust and rapport. Engaging content and being your true, authentic self builds trust and connection. When people see the real you and your journey, they're going to be more inclined to reach out. Purpose number 3 is showcasing your expertise. High quality content can demonstrate your knowledge in your particular field, and it helps your audience actually understand what you can bring to the table, making it a lot easier to establish credibility. Okay, now I'll dive into content strategies and how I captured attention. Now let's look at a couple effective strategies that I use in my content and styles of content that I use. Style number 1 is storytelling. I began sharing my personal story about how I transitioned from tradie to entrepreneur. I discussed my struggles, fears, and triumphs, which helped my audience connect with me on a much deeper level. Storytelling pretty much brings your audience on the journey with you. They can see the challenges you've faced and relate to your experience, creating a strong bond of authenticity. Content style number 2 is educational reels and educational posts. A key aspect to any personal brand is providing value and education. I scripted out videos that taught my audience about personal branding, sales techniques, and marketing fundamentals. The focus on education helps solidify my authority in the industry, while providing genuine value to those who followed me. Style number 3 is top funnel / viral content. This type of content is simply to get in front of as many eyeballs as possible and also in front of your target audience. Now, this type of content is not necessarily to drive leads, but more just to grow your page and get more people into your ecosystem. Things like viral trends, skits, relatable topics are all examples of top funnel content. Step number 4 was engagement. I made it a priority to respond to all comments, respond to all DMs, so I created a bit of a community. By actively engaging in comments and conversations, I gained a bit of insight on what my audience actually wanted to see more of, so that I could actually tailor my content to their needs. And the 5th and final step is consistency. I cannot preach enough the importance of consistency, not just with online business, but with absolutely anything in life. I created a content plan and a bit of a calendar so that I knew I was hitting every style of content, so nothing would be left out. And for over a year, I posted 3 reels every single day. That consistency is what compounded and ultimately led me to where I am today. So now that we've covered a little bit about content creation, I'm going to go into building a personal brand and becoming a recognizable figure. With my skills evolving, I focused on building a personal brand that would stand out in a crowded marketplace. Step number 1 was defining my niche. I concentrated on refining my niche within the business coaching and sales realm. I based my brand around helping like-minded people that are in a similar situation that I was in. You know, like tradies, FIFO workers that deep down know that they are meant for more and are feeling unfulfilled with those industries. I try to inspire and show young lads that there are actually other ways to succeed, and just because your dad did it, it doesn't mean you have to do it as well. To put it simply, I base my brand around tradie content because that's who's going to resonate with me the most. Because I've been in that position myself, so I know what it's like. Number 2, my visual identity. I established my visual identity as the funny tradie guy that made it off the tools, and now I help people do the same. I'd like to think that I've gone viral enough so that when one of my tradie skits pop up, most tradies in Australia know straight away who I am and they've seen my stuff before. Number 3, creating value. The content I created was built around providing value for my audience in a way that your regular Aussie bloke could understand. I focused on addressing their pain points because once upon a time, I shared the exact same pain points, so I know what it's like, and offering actionable advice and demonstrating my commitment to see their success. So now that I've built myself a personal brand, it was now time to convert followers into paying customers. Number 1, promoting with conviction. I was able to market and sell my mentor's offer with complete confidence and conviction because 1, I've done it myself from setting to closing to building a personal brand, and 2, because it simply works. There is hundreds of people that have put what they learned into practice and been able to leave their dreaded 9-to-5 jobs. Take Thomas for example. He reached out to me 6 months ago. He was in the exact same position as myself. He was working as a chippy, just feeling like he was meant for more and wanted a bit more freedom. Fast forward to now, he's been on an offer closing full time for 3 months and he's been off the tools that whole time. Number 2, effective call to action. My posts feature clear calls to action, or CTAs, encouraging my audience to download my free resources, watch my YouTube videos just like this one, or book consultations if they're looking for a more tailored one-on-one experience. Making it easy for them to take the next step was vital. Number 3, utilizing testimonials. As I started promoting for businesses, I started collecting testimonials from those that had seen success. Real life stories of transformation helped build trust, proving that my services could yield impactful results. And now I'm just going to touch on the importance of having a strong community around you. In navigating my way through this journey, I came to realize the importance of having community. I joined a network of around 800 like-minded individuals, all with the same goal, freedom. And here's why community matters. Celebrating wins. Sharing and celebrating each other's wins creates a very positive environment. Whether someone lands their first role, earns their first commission check, or simply just has a win in the gym, we all recognize and applaud one another's achievements, learning together. In this community, we learn from one another's experiences and knowledge. Everyone brings unique insights and strengths, contributing to the group's overall growth and resourcefulness. And lastly, accountability. Having a support network keeps individuals accountable. We motivate one another to stay committed to our goals and push each other to achieve great things. So now let me just touch on the reflections of the journey, the lessons learned. As I reflect on the journey from tradie to earning over $20,000 a month, several key lessons stand out. Lesson number 1, continuous learning. There is no endpoint to this journey. I recognize that every day brings an opportunity to learn something new. And let's be real, you never really know everything, so you're always going to be learning. Whether it's a new marketing trend or new sales technique, I always stay curious. Lesson number 2, embracing challenges. Challenges are a natural part of any successful story. Facing adversity head on has shaped me into a stronger individual personally. Every obstacle has been a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. And lesson number 3, staying authentic. Above all, staying true to yourself is crucial. Authenticity is what will set you apart in a competitive online realm. People will resonate with the real you, your flaws, your strengths, and the knowledge you have to give. Alrighty, now I'm going to cover my strategies for long-term success. Now that you have a comprehensive overview of my journey as a whole, let's dive into some specific strategies that have been crucial in my journey. Number 1, set clear goals. Start by identifying specific, measurable goals. Instead of vague aspirations like, I want to make more money, be very precise with your goals. For example, I want to earn $5,000 in a month by March. Set monthly and weekly targets to maintain focus and direction. And then break your larger long-term goals into bite-sized pieces, which makes them seem a lot more manageable and a lot more achievable, and also allows you to track your progress effectively. Number 2, develop daily habits. Establish these daily habits that are going to support your goals, whether that be spending an hour a day learning about sales or an hour a day creating content. Consistency with these habits is what's going to drive your success. Creating a strong daily routine fosters discipline and helps you develop the mindset required for success. Number 3, feedback loops. Create systems for feedback. Regularly seek input from your peers and your mentors, allowing you to identify areas for improvement and to optimize your approaches. Feedback not only reinforces what you're doing well, but it gives you an insight on what you need to work on. Number 4, embrace technology. Embrace tools and platforms that can help streamline and automate your processes. Whether it's utilizing scheduling tools for social media or CRM systems for managing leads, the use of AI and technology can save you a hell of a lot of time and effort. Number 5, invest in yourself. Don't hesitate to invest in your growth through courses, training, or workshops to enhance your skills. These investments can pay off significantly compared to their initial costs. And not only invest in yourself financially, invest in yourself physically. Go to the gym, eat healthy, get up early, go for a walk, go for a run. Invest in becoming the best version of yourself. And number 6, expand your network. I can confidently say that without the network around me and the friends that I'd made through online business, I probably would have given up. Having a strong sense of community and friends around you all with the same goal just allows you to bounce off one another and keep pushing each other in an upwards trajectory. Now let's talk about my path ahead and setting my future goals. Number 1, helping others. Looking ahead, I'm filled with excitement about the possibilities that await me. My journey most definitely does not end here. It's just the beginning of something much larger. I have a true passion for showing other young blokes just like myself that there are in fact other ways to make good money without swinging a hammer or twitching some wires. I'm not here to try and persuade people out of the trades. That's not my goal. I'm here to help the blokes that already want out. They already know that it isn't for them. I'm here to provide you with that option. You don't need to be a brain surgeon. Do I look like a brain surgeon? No, I'm definitely not. In fact, I honestly believe you have an advantage if you aren't the sharpest tool in the shed, because naturally you just tend to do things rather than thinking about doing things. In this industry, the doers are rewarded a lot more than the thinkers. My second goal is obviously continuous content creation. I will continue to produce high quality, engaging content that shares valuable insights, tips, and stories. Documenting my journey is crucial in helping others learn and grow. Storytelling will remain a powerful tool in connecting with my audience, and I'll be sharing my wins and my challenges. My third thing going forward is investing in continuous personal development. Prioritizing continuous self-improvement will be massive for my growth. Learning from mentors, studying new trends, and adapting my strategies to keep me ahead of the curve. And number 4, mindset work and fitness. For myself personally, the better shape I get in physically, the stronger my mindset and habits become. Becoming physically fit requires the habits and traits that breed success in any aspect of life. If I'm putting in the work physically and I'm in shape, I feel good about myself and it all compounds. If you're feeling like shit and you lack motivation, start training consistently and watch your life transform. So now for my final thoughts, your path to success. So my fellow tradies, if I can earn $21,891 profit in a single month, there's no reason why you can't too. The key lies in taking the right steps, maintaining a willingness to learn, and adapting through each phase of your journey. So to wrap it all up, here are the main lessons that I want you to walk away with. Number 1, learn the skills. Focus on learning setting, closing, and content creation to build a strong foundation. Number 2, build a personal brand. Develop your identity, your values, and your unique selling proposition, and communicate it effectively through engaging content. I cannot say it enough. building a strong personal brand will be the best thing you do in your life ever. Number 3, nurture your community. Surround yourself with a support network that encourages and uplifts you. You're not alone in this journey. Find friends that are on the same path and help each other get through it. And 4th and finally, stay committed. Keep your goals front and center, develop daily habits, and commit to consistent progress. I've said it a million times and I'll say it again. Consistency is everything. If you're eager to take this further, there is a link in the description below that allows you to book a call with a success coach from the ABC Academy. The exact mentors that taught me everything I know about online business and are the main reason that I am where I am today. Ultimately, it's all about taking action. So let's get out there, learn the skills, hustle hard, and make some serious cash together. Cheers for listening, legends, and I cannot wait to see each and every one of you succeed. Let's go.